Chapter 4. Even though we had on our heavy coats, we all felt really underdressed when we saw the next penguins. Arnold was the first to spot one. "Penguin ho!" he yelled. Arnold pointed to a black and white penguin standing at the end of a cliff. As we rounded the cliff, we saw a whole colony of penguins. "Look, they're all wearing tuxedos," Wanda yelled. "They're dressed up for a penguin party," Keisha added. The penguins were waddling around the cliff. They looked all dressed up with nowhere to go. Uncle Cecil came over with an excited look on his face. "These are Adelie penguins," he said, "and they aren't wearing suits. They're just wearing their feathers, very special feathers." From Cecil's Penguin Papers, adorable Adelies. Adelie penguins have white shirt fronts and white rings around their eyes. There are about 2.5 million Adelie penguins in Antarctica. Adelies weigh only about 8.5 pounds, the weight of a house cat. They are about 28 inches tall. Adelies come ashore to breed in the summer. In the winter, they live on ice that floats off the Arctic shore. The Antarctic shore. I noticed that Uncle Cecil was nervously patting his briefcase the whole time he was talking about the penguins. Something mysterious was in there. Miss Frizzle checked the clock in the cabin of the Frozen Frizzle. "It's time to set up camp for the day," she said. "Let's go ashore." I began to wonder how we were going to do that. But never fear, when you have the magic school bus near. As we got closer to the shore, the magic school boat turned into a magic school snowmobile. Soon we were chugging along, the ice on our big runners. The snowmobile wasn't as roomy as the boat, but it was exciting. We drove right through where the penguins were swarming around. Tim drew a lot of great sketches. It was like being on a snow safari. A little farther inland, Miss Frizzle brought the snowmobile to a stop. "Pile out," she ordered. "We'll set up our base camp here. The magic school bus needs to recharge its batteries, and we need to keep warm." One by one, we jumped out of the snowmobile. The air around us was super clear, and the snow was super white. It was so white and bright, it hurt our eyes. "I need some shades," Carlos yelled. "Me too," everyone else chimed in. We had to squint to see. The snowmobile was equipped with everything we needed. Miss Frizzle and Uncle Cecil passed out special sunglasses for all of us to wear. Then Dorothy Ann took some pictures of us posing in our Antarctic gear. From the desk of Miss Frizzle, travel warning. The Antarctic skies are clear and clean. There is no dust, no pollution, and little moisture in the air. With the glare from the sun and reflection from snow and ice, it's a very white, bright place. For human eyes, that hurts. Without sunglasses, people can get snow blindness. We were having a great time. Class, Miss Frizzle said, it's later than you think. Who wants to have a sleepover tonight? We all got excited about a sleepover. Miss Frizzle said we could look for more penguins tomorrow. Then she asked for help with setting up our tent for the night. I ran over to help right away. One thing was for sure, I wanted a warm, cozy place to sleep. Setting up our tent looked like a big dome. Miss Frizzle, Tim asked, Will we be sleeping on land or ice tonight? Good question, Tim, the Frizz answered. There's land under your feet, but it's a long way down. Tonight you'll be sleeping on an ice cap. Making our camp was hard work. We were all tired out. Arnold let out a big yawn. Then Wanda yawned. Soon we had all caught a case of the yawns. I may be cold, but these glasses are cool. From the desk of Miss Frizzle, Antarctica's ice cap. Antarctica is a large landmass, but almost the entire continent is covered by an ice cap. Even in the summer, most of the ice cap is about a mile thick. In fact, the ice on top of Antarctica weighs so much that it pushes the land under it below sea level. The ice cap is always growing. It has been growing over millions of years. Each year, only a few inches of snow fall, but the snow rarely ever melts. When is it going to get dark? Carlos asked, rubbing his eyes. I think it's past my bedtime. Dorothy Ann whipped out her handy notebook. Hold on just a minute, Carlos, she said. I've got the answer right here. D.A. leafed through her book. Then she looked at Carlos and said, Never. Never what? Carlos asked. It will never get dark tonight, Dorothy Ann said. The sun never completely sets in Antarctica in the summer. This place is way weird, Carlos said. I may have to go to sleep with my sunglasses on. From Dorothy Ann's notebook, the sun never sets. For several weeks each summer, it's light around the clock in Antarctica. Earth tilts at a steep angle toward the sun, so the sun never sets on the South Pole. In the winter, when the Antarctic tilts away from the sun, there is total darkness. We all crowded inside the tent and laid out our sleeping bags on the floor. I felt something small and cold crawl in with me. It was Liz, looking homesick. I fell asleep thinking about how much fun it would be to play with the penguins the next day. I've never been so cold. You've never been to Antarctica before?